Maxwell accuser says she was introduced to Trump at Mar-a-Lago at age 14. There's a lot that's going to come out with this case. I just know it. There's just going to be a lot. The first alleged victim to testify against Ghislaine Maxwell at her sex trafficking trial said Wednesday that she was introduced to former President Donald Trump by Jeffrey Epstein and once flew with Prince Andrew on one of the financier's private planes. The accuser, who testified under the pseudo name Jane, recalled the two encounters while being quizzed by Maxwell's defense attorney, Laura Menninger. Jane responded affirmatively when asked if Epstein drove her to Mar-a-Lago in a dark green car when she was 14 years old in the 1990s. When she was at the Palm Beach estate, Jane said she was introduced to the former president. She was also briefly asked about flying on Epstein's private plane by Menninger and said she had flown on the same flight as the British royal Prince Andrew. On Tuesday, Jane described in detail about how she was abused as a teenager by Epstein and Maxwell after meeting the pair while eating ice cream on a bench at a Michigan art camp when she was 14 years old. Jesus. She recalled orgies that included Epstein, Maxwell, and a host of other girls, as well as a time when she was abused by just the duo. They started to sort of like fondle each other, she said, of the 1994 encounter, adding that they were casually giggling as she stood there. He asked me to take my top off, Jane said. Then there were hands everywhere, and Jeffrey proceeded to pleasure himself, and Ghislaine was like rubbing on him, kissing on him. On Wednesday, she cried on the stand when she was asked by prosecutors about receiving some $2.9 million from a Jeffrey Epstein victim compensation fund. The accuser paused for about 30 seconds and wiped tears from her eyes with the tissue after she was asked by a prosecutor to describe what cash meant to her. I wish I would never have received the money in the first place because of what happened, the accuser responded, her voice breaking. In this country, compensation is the only thing you could get when you try to move on with your life, and the pain and abuse it suffered I received and tried to fix myself, she added. Assistant U.S. Attorney Allison Moe then asked her if she had any financial stake in the outcome of Ghislaine's criminal trial. No, the alleged victim told jurors in the federal courtroom in Manhattan. The accuser's payout from the fund came up as she was questioned by the defense in an attempt to undercut her credibility. Jane was awarded $2.9 million from the Epstein Compensation Fund in 2020. She had to agree to settle a civil suit she brought against Maxwell and the dead financier's estate to receive the payout. Before she cried on the stand, Jane testified that she agreed to work with federal prosecutors because she wanted to get closure decades after her alleged abuse by Epstein and Maxwell. This is something I have been running from my entire life, she said. I am just tired of it. I was just hoping that I could help in any way to make that happen and find some peace. Finally, she added. People who've been sexually abused, it'll take a lifetime for them to be whole. It takes a lifetime for them to even be a complete human being. And a lot of things are going to come out of this. Epstein got suicided. We all know that. He didn't kill himself. Let's just be real now. We all know that. Unless you're living under a rock, we all know what really happened. He was going to talk. And there's a whole lot of other people to investigate who are at these parties. A whole lot. And we had this country right now is going through a lot of cultural changes, especially when it comes to relations and the boundaries between adults and adolescents. We're basically at a crossroads where things are just going to get worse. It's sad even reading this, but I hope she one day gets peace. I'll try to follow more on this case. I will try to see if I can record one of the trials going on, the live streams of the trial. I'll try to record it. Okay, that's what I'll try to do. Damn, this is sick, man. It's plain sick. All right. Tell me your thoughts on this case. What do you think? Do you think that she'll be convicted? Or do you think someone will try to silence her before she gets on the stand to talk? Like, share, comment, and subscribe. All the information is down in the description box about my channel. All right. Later. Cheers.